Hi guys, Nadia's just on Instagram talking about the terrible con of pet food.
Oh yeah, you mustn't just change quickly. That's why you have to
Did you know?
investigate it.
Did you know that vets are paid by certain dog food firms to stock their dog food in their veterinary surgeries? Because poor vets earn so little money that they have to get that percentage. Did you know that when vets are trained, they only do about a week or two on nutrition, and that nutritional advice that vets receives is paid for and sponsored by the major food companies, dog food companies. It's true. We did a whole documentary about it. Nadia's just talking about it over there. How are we all this morning? Good morning. Coffee moaning. It's Saturday morning. Sorry if you can hear two voices going. She's just finishing up on her live over there. Harry, Marion Patel, Flora May, Nicholas Sinnott. How are you, Nicholas Sinnott? Janet Gorman, Louise Croney, Jodie, 14 days until I get Sebastian, 17 days until I get Autumn. Ooh, Gracie Kelly Foylan, I love that name. Grace Kelly Foylan, Saskia Guy, Kimberly Bunn. Good morning, one and all. Obviously, there's Nadia just joining us. Just to say, what the hell's that? I thought, see that there? I thought that was a chicken with its neck in the air, Parson's nose in the air. How are you, Nads?
I'm good. I got up this morning.
You did some squats?
I had a 5-minute... so I've got my...
God, don't tell them that.
What?
5 minutes.
I had a 5-minute meditation in the garden. Made a nice cup of herbal tea, sat in the sun. That was really nice. Did my workout. Not long, 15 minutes.
Oh. You were out like a light last night.
Oh,
you were so sweet.
Well, I got up at about... I woke up about 10 to 6 yesterday. It was really annoying. Then loose women. Then we did all the cooking for the Sunday show.
You were like a little woodland
Then we
animal.
were filming
like
for a brand. Then we did the members area live. We didn't finish work till about 10 o'clock last night.
But guess what I'm in mourning about, guys? I am terribly in mourning. Sorry, I literally couldn't be asked to do anything with myself today. Just couldn't be asked. No more Real Housewives of New York. We watched the last one. Dorinda's clearly going. Rolanda, what's the name of the blonde one? Rwanda? No, what's her name? That's a country.
No.
Yolanda, no.
No,
the blonde one who did a shit in the room.
No.
What's her name?
Rona. No.
What?
What's her name?
Luann has...
No, not Luann.
No, Luann has calmed things and is in control. What's the name of the new one? Lee?
Oh, I don't know.
Lee?
This is very
What's
boring.
the name?
Ramona.
Ramona is a moaner. Sonia is a nutter.
Paige is just back from digital detox. Oh no, we're poisoning you again.
Nadia, just give us a little brief heads up. If you had to give us a one-line response to the social dilemma after you discussed it on Loose Women yesterday, because obviously Social Dilemma is this documentary that we saw all about the perils of not controlling or not regulating, not social media, not just social media, but all of the platforms that we get our information on. What's the biggest takeout from it that you...
My biggest takeout is, after I watched it, my biggest takeout was total terror. I thought, is there nothing in this world that I can feel okay about? That's what I felt, and I felt very dark, very depressed. And then we talked about it on Loose Women yesterday, and it was good because I read the Loose Women brief, and it reminded me that they also said that regulation is the way out of this.
Well, the main guy is about humane response to it.
They gave an example. Morning, Jacqueline Armstrong.
Welcome
to the family guest area. You've got a real treat tomorrow for the show. It's really good.
A real treat.
And I think that, like when he was talking about how, when you think about kids' cartoons and how much care we took about what was around that, what children were watching.
And they still do on terrestrial TV.
Yeah,
they still
and
do,
actually no regulation. I mean, Facebook was absolutely terrifying what they were saying about Facebook. But I think, as you know, we believe that there is so much good to social media. We certainly will experience it here together, don't we? We try to be really mindful about what we do and what we put out and what we are influencers. You just are. If people come and watch you, then you're influencing them. Yeah. And I think that but I feel hopeful. I feel like if the conversation keeps happening and if we can convince everyone to watch this film, and to then go to socialdilemma.com and be a part of making a change, then we can make a change with what's going on.
We're going to do a proper chat about
I've turned off my notifications on my phone. That's one of the big things they said to do.
We're going to do a proper review or
talk.
talk about it. And a little part of me wonders whether that talk could be or should be a live talk or not, because it's less about reviewing the documentary. There are sort of strengths and weaknesses to it and what have you. But the ramifications of what it says are so far-reaching. And some of the suggestions in it are so far-reaching. And it is about how do we find hope in it and everything. But anyway, check it out. That's a little bit of homework for you guys. Try and check out Social Dilemma on Netflix.
Because we want to talk to you about it. We want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, we do.
Kerry Sentwhistle. Hi, Kerry. How are all your studies going? Back in lockdown in Llanelli. Not really, though. Can still go to the hairdressers. Llanelli. The pub or a music lesson, just not to my aunties. Money, money, money. Sweetie. I'm raging for people at the moment. I was raging at Loose Women yesterday in the meeting. We were raging in the podcast we did. Went up yesterday, Confessions of a Modern Parent.
What about?
Raging about the way young people are being kept away from their family. My friend, whose child is in university in Edinburgh, I was talking to her yesterday, and she said, "I can't go and see her for a coffee."
I think it's almost in our Confessions of a Modern Parent this week. We talk about precisely this thing. Winter is coming. How do we help our teens and young adults
and ourselves
get through what looks like a pretty bleak set of months coming up ahead? And I get really, really angry about the way in which we are socially stigmatizing, punishing, and marginalizing such an important section of society, our next generation. If we're worried that there seems to be a lack of compassion for our elders now, the way we're going about it as elders isn't going to help the problem. Because I know there's a sense sometimes that the young are this and the young are that. You know, you can't group generations that broadly. You just can't.
We were so proud of Carlitos, my friend Lisa's son, and Maddie yesterday when we listened to what their contribution to the podcast. Because if you've never listened to the podcast, basically what they do is, not every week, but most weeks, we get their take on whatever it is we're talking about. Because we were talking about how do we go into winter? How do we support ourselves? How are we going to get through this? How are we going to support our young? And they both gave, oh my God, they so spoke from their heart, didn't they? And they were so articulate. And I really urge you to listen to it, because it's a really good snapshot, not only of how actually children could, but how they're looking out at us as adults and what we're doing.
Contrary to what you think, we don't think that just because Maddie says it or Carlito says it, that is a sort of, a sample of everyone's opinion. We recognise that. And we don't think that just because they feel this or experience that, that's the way it is. But it just gives you can only get what you can get. It's an insight. Just quickly off beam, can we just quickly say here for Heather Hodgson, it's her birthday, but also can you wish my daughter, I think Heather's mum is also asking us to wish Heather Hodgson a birthday.
Oh, we've got Heather Hodgson.
Nadia's the birthday singer.
So who's the birthday?
Heather Hodgson's.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, yes.
Happy birthday, dear
Heather
Hodgson. And thank you, Elizabeth Carroll Hodgson, for suggesting that we sing happy birthday to Heather Hodgson. Happy birthday to you.
There you go. Do you like the way we then segue straight back into serious chat?
Yes.
I love that. Piers Morgan couldn't do that. Could you imagine Piers Morgan breaking into songs suddenly? Happy birthday to... Anyway, so I think... So students at the moment have got this. Go back... This is the lot of the student at the moment. So spare a thought when we're just kind of pointing the finger and going, nah, why are you running around doing things? Go to college, don't go out, pay your rent, get into debt, have no one-on-one teaching, be asked to self-isolate and sit in your halls, don't come back at Christmas, don't think about the future. The hell? Don't train to get a degree that won't guarantee you a job in a diminishing work market anyway. Oh, okay. Let's also have a go at them if they don't want to.
And Dr. John Campbell did a film 2 days ago showing from the World Health Organization the graph of what's most likely to kill us, and COVID is 16th. 16th.
Beneath
and he said,
how
are we not doing the same thing for these other 15 things that are more likely to kill you above this? And how are kids supposed to understand this? And I just, and a friend of mine she was absolutely guaranteed that her child's learning was going to be in situ in university with some online stuff. So she's paid £6,000 for a year for her accommodation, okay, and God knows what else, the tuition fees and everything. And oh look, Nanny Dies with this live. And
Nanny Dies here somewhere.
And she's been put in a bubble with 3 other people. Those are the only friends she can have. She said they're nice enough, but they wouldn't be the people that she would choose. Right, listen to this. It's not a lot. No in university lectures, but guess what? I thought it was a live Zoom. It's not a live Zoom.
You're joking.
It's a film that they watch in their tiny room.
So it's like a webinar where they've pre-recorded. This is just awful. I mean, there's no experience. And you know why all the students were encouraged to go back? And this is, again, universities are a business. The worry was that if all the students did the sensible thing, which would have been the sensible thing this year, would have been to stay at home and distance learn from the institution from home. It just makes total sense financially.
But again, the money, they needed the students' money.
The landlords needed the money. The universities needed the money.
And the Tories wanted all that money going round.
So now you've got sitting ducks.
I feel really sorry for the landlords, but come on, these are kids that we are getting them to pay thousands of pounds and then telling them to sit in effectively a guinea pig hutch.
Well, like someone just here said, they're treating universities like care homes. I just saw someone...
Nicola Jenkins, I can't see my mother because she's on local lockdown, but people can have kids' party. Oh, no, sorry, Nicola. Yeah, that is true. Kids' parties spreading the virus. Horrible, but that isn't actually the one I was looking for.
This one here in the northeast, we're in tighter lockdown. Alison Bennett, I feel sorry for all the students up here. They're paying for expensive accommodation and being taught online with maybe one morning
if they're lucky. My friend's daughter's not getting anything in university.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
How do you feel? Are any of you parents of kids in university? How are you feeling? Gabrielle, I feel so sorry for students. How dare they not allow them to go home for Christmas?
When we can
go to the bloody pub?
Hazel Caldera, it's dreadful.
We are saving the pub no matter what happens. The pubs are open no matter what happens.
I'm a university lecturer. Oh, look at this, PhD Pickles. I'm a university lecturer and we have been campaigning for students to distance learn forever. It's all of our management that is selling a false promise to students.
Awful for you
That's so difficult for you.
That's awful for you.
That is so difficult. And also, let's not beat around the bush. There's a very valid reason. Not a lot of lecturers, but, there's a lot of lecturers who sit within the vulnerable parts of society. They don't want to get the infections or their own families, like with teachers. They don't want to spread it either. So,
Jodie just said it's under 25s that can't go to the pub. Under 25s can't go to the pub.
Where's it said that?
Jodie
I
just said that.
I didn't know that was a law.
I knew they were talking about that. Is that
being suggested?
Maybe in Scotland they're not allowed to.
Oh, really? I noticed...
They can't go to pubs. Is that in Scotland, Jodie?
I noticed Kay posted something on Twitter saying, so can students work in pubs?
Yes, of course they can.
That's interesting.
Happy birthday, Vicky. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vicky. Happy birthday to you.
Just a little statistic.
Put the thumbs up if you're enjoying this live, please.
Before you ask, I haven't got the actual statistics in front of me, but I did see a set of charts on the news last night on Sky News that was suggesting that women between the ages of 25 and 29 are one of the highest infection groups in the female population. I just wanted to ask you guys, because you've often got the inside track on this, why do you think that is? What is that about? Why would women... And there's nothing about a woman's physiology.
It was very, very strange. It was just a little bit on the news, wasn't it? They were showing the graph.
But he talked about it as if it was an enigma. He's like, this is odd.
But he said they think it's because of retail hospitality. Do they mean because they've been going out shopping?
Or do they mean beauty treatments and all that kind of stuff?
Maybe.
Do they mean because of like...
Well, I have to say,
because of the jobs they do?
When you go and have your nails, I went past a nail shop and you're in there for hours and hours, aren't you?
Oh, look, Vicky, school mums at pickup, perhaps? It's a curious one, isn't it? It's a curious one.
Has anything else been said about it today?
I don't know, but I wondered whether it could be connected with this. There's a scheme that's being pushed. Where is it? Called Treat Out or something like that to help out. Here we go. Treat Out to help out.
Oh, God. So what's this?
Well,
that we're all going to get told off for in a couple of weeks?
No, but there's something...
Eat Out to help out.
Yeah, but there's something about this that I found a little bit patronising to women. Senior Tory MP says Rishi Sunak should do more to help female-dominated sectors. It's not that female-dominated sectors shouldn't be helped out, but I agree. But treat out to help out is like, it sort of makes it all sound sort of a bit... Anyway, the idea here is...
Oh, I see. Sorry. Francoise Cummins-Zuli says... This, no, it's not Francoise. Courtney Grant says women in their 20s are most likely to work in customer-facing jobs. Example, hospitality
and
retail.
Courtney Garrett.
Oh, I see.
It's an interesting
Thank you for that,
statistic, though, isn't it?
Oh, yes, that's what they must have meant.
So this treat out to help out
And
is
are
a
they
bit...
going into hospital?
No, well, I don't think that was the suggestion, but
Right.
the infections are higher in that group, the highest in that group. It's curious, isn't it? But there's talk about there being a treat out to help out, which is like eat out to help out, but it's for the beauty sector. And I think the idea being that nail bars, other beauty therapy businesses were one of the last sectors to be unlocked.
They really were. They
and
really
9 out of 10
struggled.
people in the industry are female. So that's why it's a female skewing thing. I just wondered what you thought about this. Do you think there should be something equivalent? I mean, there was talk
first
of
of
there
all-
being something like this for the theatre, wasn't there? And
But let's face it, the theatre is a very, very different thing to going and having a beauty treatment where they're going to wear a mask and a shield. I mean, could they get everyone in the theatre to wear a mask and a shield? You know? Why not?
yeah, why not?
Why not?
Why not? I don't know.
Oxygen?
You tell me why not.
Maybe we could have oxygen.
Yeah.
I'm worried we're going to get to the point where we're like in an oxygen thing, having to have oxygen tanks on our back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Sorry, Paigey said, how do you do your thumbnails on YouTube? I was going, I don't know. What do I do with my thumbnails? He meant the thumbnails at the... Our dear friend Michelle is just so good at them, isn't she?
Can you hit the like
Hit
button
the thumbs
under
up
the film,
button.
please?
So treat
Thank you.
out to help out. Now, there is a much bigger existential question down here somewhere in environmental stories. I thought it was a big question because we often talk to our girls about when we're going to become grandparents, don't we? And they both say...
Well, no, actually, I don't.
Well, no, not regularly, but on
No,
occasion...
but actually, I've got a real point about that. I don't, because I think that it's really wrong to just assume your children are going to have children, because sometimes people don't want to, and they're made to feel guilty, and sometimes people can't have children. So I never make it a fait accompli.
Oh Christ! I didn't realise I'd
Sorry.
hit such a conflict point.
Yeah.
I've probably mentioned it once in my life, but I've backed away from it just that once because precisely there is a. I think we're going to be surprised by the number of young people who see it as a climate change responsibility not to have children. I mean, if you think about it. So there's just an article which I thought was a good thought-provoking thing, and I wondered whether this could be. Do you remember our podcast? The Only Way is Ethics. I wondered whether we could discuss this in an Only Way is Ethics podcast. Should we be bringing children into our dying world?
Well, that is what they are saying, that
Yeah,
we
they
have
are.
to think that we've got too many people on the planet. Mind you, if COVID keeps on the way it is.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, what do you think, guys? Do you think we should carry on? Do you think there should be some onus, like there used to be in China, didn't there? You'd be taxed terribly, or then you'd be somehow sort of penalised if you had more than one child. You can't go into a culling situation with humans. You can't go into a sort of eugenics or euthanasia, that sort of thing either. But you can go into a sort of philosophical place of thinking it's our responsibility as a culture not to have as many children as we do. There's more babies being conceived during lockdown. You're absolutely right, Janet Sharp. There's going to be an absolute baby boom. There's going to be a second baby boom generation. That's
Steph
for sure.
Schultz says, I'm happy my brother had a child, as I haven't. I would have felt guilty. My parents love kids. Yeah, you see, I don't want the girls to feel guilty. Of course, I'd love to be a grandmother, but I will never put that on them. I'm looking forward to being a step-grandmother as well, if Izzy and Fleur have kids.
Yeah.
Because they're older, we're probably going to be more likely.
But don't get me wrong, I would not be disappointed never to be a granddad, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily want to be a granddad.
I do.
I don't
Oh,
necessarily.
God.
I mean, I think I'd be a good one, but I don't...
Be a great
I don't necessarily
one.
want to be... I mean, I have to confess, it allows me the fantasy of thinking, I've never been a father to a boy. I'd love... Imagine having a
That's a
grandson.
lovely thing
That
to
would be
say,
quite
Meghan
sweet.
Parker. It's hard when you've had children because it makes you biased, as you know how incredible
It's very
it is.
true. It's very true. You do know incredible
You
it is.
also know how bloody hard it is.
You also know how nerve-wracking it is because actually, I think a lot of parents, again, check out our Confessions of a Modern Parent. There are times where if you are truly examining the opportunities in the world, of the world for your children, you sometimes feel a bit, oh my God, this is, when they say, I didn't ask to be born, there's kind of truth in that sometimes. Oh, this is a funny story. Do you want a funny story? Well, funny story, but an odd
Claire
story.
Phelan, I think we've got enough restrictions without being told how many children we can have here.
Yeah, you can only have children if you wear a mask.
Sophie B, telling us not to have kids is like asking most women not to breathe.
Wow, there you go. That's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, it is, and yet at the same time, how do we have those broader conversations without it becoming personal?
I think this, Ella T, I don't know how old you are, but I think she echoes a lot of what young people think. It's not just the ecological responsibility. I wouldn't be able to look my baby in the eye knowing what the world could look like in 50 years.
Well, there is an element of that. I mean, I suppose, in a weird way, if you would, how that's why I think it would make a great ethical discussion, because how much when you have a child are you making just a decision for yourself, and in what sense should you be thinking about the broader picture of the planet and the resources and the state of the world? Yeah,
I would never
think
have
most
taken
of
that
us
into
are.
consideration. I just wanted a child.
I think most of us are, but I think we're going to be surprised by this generation. I think there's going to be a generational shift away from, and we may well get more used to people not having. There's a huge. I hate it when people who don't.
A discussion.
It always struck me is it your friend Carol McGiffin? I hate it when certain women. There's certain women in the. There's a very famous actress somewhere who hasn't had babies, but they always bring it up about the lack in her life.
They do that with Carol all the time.
Yeah, do
she
they?
doesn't lack it at all.
Exactly.
She's never wanted
it's not a lack. Now,
please can you sing Happy Birthday to my mum? Who's that?
Grandpa Mark. Oh, someone says there's a troll. Block A1. Hang on. Let me just sort that one out.
Who said my mum's birthday? Oh, put it in capitals who your mum was so that I can see you. I saw it, but it jumped away. The quarantines, look, as in teens,
the quarantines are incoming. That's a good generation.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, we got rid of A1. He's gone. Here's the thing. Man caves. I love a man cave. I love my man cave. This story.
I want a woman cave so badly.
Now, this story really made me laugh. 3 men in New York have been accused of creating a man cave beneath New York's Grand Central Station. They found a spare room and they filled it with a television, a fridge, a microwave and a futon sofa.
Oh my God, I love that.
Now, if they hadn't been just using it to just skive
I'll do that for you, H&A.
If they hadn't been using it to just skive off work, I think they would have got away with it to some degree. But they weren't going to work. When they said they were working, they'd go down to their room, they'd watch TV, play games, drink beer, smoke tabs. The room was deemed a fire hazard. But someone gave an anonymous tip saying there are 3 men going down there, hanging out, getting drunk and partying. But look at the room, look.
Oh my
wooden
God.
boards.
I love that.
And someone, this is what the inspector said, who's gonna prosecute them. Many a New Yorker has fantasized about kicking back with a cold beer in a prime piece of Manhattan real estate, especially one with great connections to local transportation. But few would have the chutzpah to commandeer a secret room.
I think they should have got a medal,
beneath
to be
Grand
honest.
Central Terminal. I thought that was incredibly inventive, and I'd love a little bloody man cave under Grand Central Station. Imagine that.
Absolutely love it.
That's what I thought. Good for them. Good for them. Nadia, your dressing room is your man cave.
Don't really want to spend time in there. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joanne.
Joanne.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, Gabrielle, don't ask that question.
Do you think that Trump will win the election?
I'm really scared he might.
Now, I'm going to be watching the live debate this Tuesday. I think we should go live with it. I think we should watch the debate.
What time? When is
en
it?
masse. I don't know what the time scale. What time does
Might be
anyone
3
know?
o'clock in the morning.
Does anyone know if? Oh look, Nanny Di. Mark, if you were a grandfather, I'd be a great grandmother.
Yes, this is true,
That
Nanny
is
Di.
true, Mum. I imagine you, Mum, lying on your bed at the moment with a sort of cigarette holder, just sort of smoking like Noel Coward, going from smoking jacket to smoking jacket, reading books, and then getting on your Peloton. She doesn't have a Peloton. She has a really old Rusty. So how you doing,
one of
Mum?
those
Are you
old
feeling better
Davina
today?
McCall ones, hasn't she?
Nanny Di was supposed to be meeting us yesterday for a rendezvous, and she couldn't do it.
Keeled over.
She keeled over, not literally, because people will think she didn't literally keel over, but you complained of your backpack.
Angela Thompson's car's packed on her way to Cornwall. Angela, say hello to Cornwall from us.
Are you? Wow, car packed on my way to Cornwall. Enjoy. Enjoy. I do believe he will win. We don't have many choices over here. Someone, look, this troll said, I don't have enough testosterone. Unfortunately, I've got a bit, I've had too many kids. I've had so many kids. I think the one thing we can...
It's actually quite funny.
It's so funny. Rest assured, it's just too much. Keris Entwistle, the spread in my area has been mainly in 30 to 50-year-olds, not teens and 20s, outbreaks and pubs, but they're staying open. I graduated with the first, by the way. Well done,
Oh,
Keris
well
Entwistle.
done.
Well done, darling. Bless you, Nanny Di. My arthritis is terrible at the moment. It's that change of, Nan did say, it's the shift from summer to autumn.
That's why my knee's hurting so much.
You're at that age where your knees start to hurt in the autumn, babe. No. That's why my neck hurts. God, I do feel like I'm sick. Anyway, well, guys, Nads, we've got to go and finish the Sunday show.
I've got to go and layer the cake. The Black Forest Gatto. The Black Forest Gatto won. So I did a poll on Instagram. Would people prefer me to cook a pineapple upside down cake or a Black Forest Gatto? I asked you here as well, and it was a resounding Black Forest Gatto. So I'm making it. I'm gonna put a nice photo up on Instagram with the recipe underneath. But if you want to see watch me actually making it, I'll be doing it on the No Name Sunday show on Sunday. If you'd like to join the family guest area, you just have to click the box under here, join. It's $1.99 a month, and you get lots of extra. Well, you get a lovely Sunday show every Sunday, nice long, usually about an hour and 15 minutes, is it? And then you get an
Sometimes
extra
reaches to an
live.
hour and a half.
You get an extra live.
Tailored together with all the finesse of a television programme, because there's so much shit on television, it's not on television. And you get members live every week, and we are looking at some way of kind of doing your comments, aren't we? We want to do something where we read out.
I know.
We read out comments.
Well, I think we've just got to collate them and then read them out. So that will be an extra thing on the VIP.
Yeah, we're bringing that to the VIP area.
Also, if you're just new visiting us, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button so that you always know when we're doing something live.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to go and check my testosterone.
Oh, hang on. Aren't we going to upload a No Name Sunday show?
Oh, yes,
on the
we
main
are.
channel?
Yes, we are. So you can have a look at what it's all about.
We're going to upload one of the past ones.
Upload an old one.
An old one, so that you can have a look and see if you fancy it and see if you want to join the family guest area.
Can we quickly
but
wish...
if you don't worry, nothing changes on this main channel. We still upload the most films of any YouTuber. Yeah. I think we can safely say that we do.
Absolutely do.
Yeah.
Imran Khan, can you please quickly wish their son Ardit a happy birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ardit. Happy birthday to you.
Anyway, we're going to go. We're going to see you later. Lots of
love.
Bye,
guys.
There might be a green-fingered hell at some point over the weekend. You never know. Bye.